get in here. She'll be here. But she was one that comes straight from work, so it's hard for her to get here early. I call the March 16th regular board meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica?
She's coming.
Not here
She's
yet.
coming.
She's coming.
Walking up now, yeah.
Andrew?
Yes.
Bill? Yes. Jamie? Yes. Janet?
Yes.
All right, first on the agenda this evening, we have some special acknowledgements. We have a few of our sports teams here. The first one that I'd like to recognize is the high school wrestling team. And I'm going to turn the floor over to their coach, Jerry Patmont.
Yes, first, this was my 6th year with the program, 1st year as the head coach. So I'm going to thank Mac for recommending me, you guys for hiring me. Thank my assistants, Devin Henderson, Dave Stewart. Also, Brett Ward, who stepped in halfway through to take our girl wrestlers to events. We ended up with 24 kids on the team, which is a pretty big team this year. So I wrote down notes because I'll forget.
Thank you.
So not only in wrestling meets, they don't only compete as an individual, they compete as a team too. So we had many firsts. The team broke the school record for dual wins this year. The old record was 13. They got 15 this year. They won the Urbana Invitational Wrestling Tournament this year, which is the first time that a wrestling team has won it from Effingham. So that was 2 huge things. I mean, I couldn't be more proud of them for that. Individual wise, we had 2 kids qualify for state, which is the first time in over 20 years that Effingham has put 2 kids at the state tournament. Jonah LeDuc, right here, he's the first freshman at Effingham to ever qualify for state. Jeremiah Lorton, back in the back, he came 1 win away from making the podium this year, which nobody at Effingham has ever done. So that was a first. He also broke the school record for wins in the season at 40. Brendan Stewart qualified. He wrestled this past weekend at Fresh Soft State. So that is the whole state of Illinois. There's no classes. It's every freshman and sophomore in the state of Illinois that didn't qualify for the regular state. They go in a regional sectionals state tournament. He qualified for that this past weekend. We had 2 girls compete at postseason this year. Kyla Allison and Charlie Emmerich. Charlie was one match away from making it to state this year. So the girls wrestling is the fastest growing high school sport. So we're hoping to build off of that this year and in the future and go from there. So you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Devin Henderson, assistant coach. Just thank everybody for all the support and everything along the way. We're trying to build this team up and try to keep breaking records. That's what we're trying to build in this program, and just change the mentality in these young athletes and try to make them better people. So.
Yeah, David Stewart, assistant coach. I've been a coach with the youth program this is my 7th year in the youth program. 2nd year officially with the high school, although I did help out while my older son, Caden, was in 4 years, and he just graduated last year. So I was in the room, but 2 years officially, so I thank you guys for allowing me to get into the room. Last year, officially as an assistant coach, I got to coach both my boys. So that was a privilege, and got to coach my son at state. And I couldn't have did that without you guys. So I appreciate all you guys allowing me the opportunity. But just like Devin said, we're trying to grow this sport. And our youth program is, we started out when I got into the youth program, there was only 24 kids in our youth program. And this past season, we had 76 kids in our wrestling youth program. So we've been able to build that up, and that's our feeder program to hopefully keep setting records and breaking records. And we couldn't do that without you guys recognizing us and bringing us, the sport of wrestling is starting to come alive in Effingham. Most people didn't even know Effingham had a wrestling team for many years. So we just want to thank you guys for giving us this opportunity and recognizing us.
You guys want to introduce yourselves?
I'm Phil Henderson.
I'm Brendan Stewart.
Joe Leduc,
Jake Anderson.
Morgan Banner,
Booker Evans.
Hey, McDowell.
Xavier Lane.
Hayden Herman.
Keenan,
Jason Rich.
Jeremiah Jones,
Jeremiah Lorton.
Dave Raditz.
Tyler Allison, Charlie Emmerich. Congratulations on a great season. We're really proud of you. Raise your hand if you're a freshman.
I should have said that.
Yeah.
There's only 2 seniors in this group, so a lot of these guys will be back
So you're
next year.
young too. Raise your hand if you're sophomore. Junior and senior. Good luck, seniors. Do you have your countdown clock running?
Yes.
Well, we're really proud of you. Thanks for coming tonight. I always give this speech too. Make sure that you thank your coaches and thank your parents. They're your biggest supporters out there in the club. You wouldn't be where you are today without their help. So we appreciate you, parents and coaches, and thank you as well. So good luck in the future, and you young wrestlers, we'll see you here next year. So, would like to personally congratulate each one of you, and Michelle will get a picture of you when you're finished doing this, but we'll have you file along because we'd like to shake your hands. So let's go ahead and shake hands, and then we'll stay standing up here in the front for Michelle to get your picture.
Congratulations. Good job. Thank you.
Congratulations. Break your arm. I guess look at it. Oh, this looks.
Thank you for having us.
I'll get him.
You saw Erin Brown, right?
Yeah, she is here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's here.
She blends in with the students.
Be in touch.
She looks like a student herself.
Yeah, she does. I see her now.
Yep.
It's a big team.
That's a big team.
That's a big team. She's over there. She's standing next. She's got the brown curly hair. She's on the very, very end, behind the girls, holding the paper.
All right, I'd like to have your attention. Next on the agenda, we'd like to acknowledge and recognize our 2026 state champions in the Winter Guard. Great job, ladies. I'm going to turn it over to your coach, Erin Brown.
Hi, I'm Erin Brown. This has been my 5th year as the coach of the high school color guard / winter guard. It's been a lot of fun. I was on the team when I was in high school, and I got to take over the position when my coach left. And it's been a lot of fun watching this team grow. We started with 6 my very first team, and now we have a whopping 22. And we have 2 teams now. We have a varsity and a JV team, and both of them are our state champions this year, which is great. We also had 3 seniors compete solos this year. All 3 of them got to qualify for state finals and compete in Springfield. Holland Taylor, Gracie Parks, and Maggie Jenkins. Did a wonderful job. Yeah, we compete through the Illinois Drill Team Association, which consists of both dance teams and flag teams. And we competed in AA lyrical flag for both the JV and varsity teams. So they competed against anywhere from 2 to 6 teams, and came out on top. It's the first time that Effingham has won a state championship in Winterbird since 2017. So yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I've really enjoyed watching this team grow, and I'm gonna miss seeing these seniors here every day. They've been fantastic leaders, and really I could not have done it without their help. And my assistant coach who couldn't be here today, Emily Ross, she's also been a big help. I want to thank the parents who have been here supporting us. They've really been in our corner this year. Thank you to Kurt Roberts as well. He's been a big supporter of our group, and I really appreciate that. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations. Thanks for coming this evening. You ladies, would you mind introducing yourselves and tell us what year you are?
Madeline Westendorf, sophomore.
Avery Winchester, junior.
Clara Westendorf, freshman. Ella Canarum, junior. Maddie Garrison, junior. Hannah Linton, junior. Ariana Hazelton, junior. Elson Beck, sophomore. Jada Lira, freshman. Lila Bullock, sophomore. Elena LaMoria, sophomore. Libby Jones, sophomore. Arlette Gonzalez, sophomore.
Maggie Jenkins, senior.
Izzy Jones, senior.
Holland Taylor, senior.
Percy Parks, senior.
Riley Gillis, junior.
Ian Hackett, junior.
Thanks for coaches, thanks for parents. We really appreciate everything that you do to represent Effingham High School to the highest level and integrity. And we wish you all the very best in the future. And you young ladies, hopefully we'll see you back here next year. We'll do the same thing. You guys will file around. We'd love to shake your hands, and then Michelle will get a group photo.
That's all you do for us. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
It's about your 5th time here? Great job.
Thank you.
Great job.
Right.
Great job.
Oh, and the coach, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Well done.
At this time, I would like to recognize any visitors that would like to address the board.
Yep, if you want to see them.
We did have 2 call in.
And then we have.
I would like to address the board if that's possible.
Sure. If you wouldn't mind having a seat here in front of the microphone. I do have a short statement that I would like to read for anyone that addresses the board. We welcome any comments from our community at this time. Speakers are limited to 5 minutes, and we'll notify the speaker when there's 1 minute remaining in their allotted time. We ask that all speakers identify themselves and share their information in a respectful and courteous manner. Because we are being broadcast, there might be children in the audience. And we appreciate your anticipated cooperation and welcome any comments that will benefit our goal of supporting the best education for the students of Unit 40. Thank you.
Administration, Unit 40 board members, and members of the Unit 40 district in attendance today. Good evening. I'm Noreen Alt, and I have worked for Unit 40 for 30 years. I have had the pleasure of teaching several of you that are here, as well as some of your children, your nieces, your nephews. Today I would like to address a matter that is to be decided by the board that affects the future of many of our students. I currently work with several gifted students, and those who will come after me, I'm sure will have many gifted students in those classes as well. This matter concerns the possibility of eliminating a teaching position that I currently hold when I retire at the end of the year. I am aware that the board is making staffing cuts throughout the district. However, a cut to the number of positions in the science department will have harmful effects on the students who graduate from Effingham High School, as it will force several of our upper level science classes that we currently offer to be cut. such as Chemistry 2, or Environmental Science, or Physics, or Anatomy and Physiology. The long-lasting effects, going down to only 4 science teachers, is detrimental to all of our students, but especially to our best and brightest. Since my teaching position was posted as vacant and needing to be filled for the 26-27 school year, all of us in the science department were shocked to learn Friday that my position would be allowed to go unfilled and therefore eliminated through attrition. If this is the choice that the school board upholds, it will not only result in larger class sizes at the freshman and sophomore levels, but more impactful will be the inability to offer all of our current courses to our juniors and seniors. As an employee of Unit 40 since 1995, I've been through a lot of ups and downs with this district. We've adjusted to new buildings as we grew, the economic downturn when America was attacked, the state of Illinois not making promised payments, COVID and remote learning, as well as threats against public education by many outsiders. Through all of this, Unit 40 and its staff have banded together to provide what is best for students. I'm proud to be able to bear witness to the many EHS graduates that have taken solid science foundations with them and moved on to become professional scientists. Doctors, dentists, chiropractors, NPs, PAs, RNs, radiologists, nuclear med tech, science teachers, genetic counselors, chemists, physicists, biologists, mechanical, electrical, and chemical engineers, computer, nuclear, and aerodynamic engineers. The list goes on and on, with many I'm sure I've overlooked. Without the upper level science courses we have offered at EHS, these students might not have been able to be accepted into their chosen field of study, or at the very least would have been ill prepared for the coursework they would encounter at college. As to larger class sizes that would result in the freshman and sophomore classes, the National Association for Science Teachers advises, quote, to provide and maintain a learning and working environment for students and staff that is as safe as possible, NSTA recommends science classes should have no more than 24 students to allow for adequate supervision during science activities, even if the occupancy load limit might accommodate more. It's equally important to ensure adequate workspace for each student, end quote. The overcrowding could result in fewer hands-on experiences, less individualized learning time, and decreased opportunities to develop critical thinking skills. It is my hope that in light of the points of concern that I have expanded upon, you would reconsider the decision to eliminate a teaching position from the science department at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Cheryl Walker. I am the president of the Effingham Education Support Professionals Association. I work in the high school library where I assist teachers and students with various projects and programs. I have been with the district 5 years. I love working for Effingham High School because the teachers, support staff, and principals there work cooperatively. We rely on and trust each other to do what is in the best interest of the students so they can thrive and be happy and productive. I've lived in Effingham since 1989, so I am committed to the community and want to see our students succeed. I'm here tonight to tell you that the support staff needs a fair and just contract. Because of the dramatic increase in health insurance costs, we have support staff members that are bringing home paychecks that are less than $10. We submitted a demand to bargain in May of 2025. Since then, we've met with 2 school board members, the superintendent, the assistant superintendent, and the district's attorney, a total of 5 times. While we have made some progress, we are disappointed that we seem unable to meet unless the district's attorney is present. Currently, we're working on language proposals. We feel that the lawyers' proposals are designed to diminish our rights and to outsource our work. While we appreciate the district's willingness to agree with us on certain aspects, we feel that our concerns are not being heard. Yes, we're eager to move on to the financial part of our negotiations. However, we don't want the contract language to be used as leverage to diminish our rights or to eliminate them altogether. The Effingham ESPs look forward to working together with all stakeholders, the school board, the administration, the parents, and the students, to get a fair contract that puts students first. Teachers, administrators, and students rely on the support they get from us. Education support professionals deserve the respect of an equitable contract.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board?
Good evening. My name is Max Greenwood, and I'm a senior at Effingham High School. I will be talking today to speak on behalf of a large portion of the student body at Effingham High School. We have had growing concerns about the cuts towards the science department at our school, so that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'd like to give my own personal testimony because I've always been towards the top of my class growing up. I've always grown up here in Effingham, and school was never really challenging for me. It wasn't until sophomore year when I took Chemistry 1 that I finally had a challenge in school. When I took Chemistry 1, I finally was excited to come to school and learn more, and I felt challenged. So then what did I do? I went and took those upper level science courses, and I fell in love with the education of science at our school. It was this academic challenge that pushed me to find my passion in science. If you don't know me very well, I hope to be a chemistry teacher one day, and it is the upper level science and the upper level science teachers at Effingham High School that I have to thank for that. The upper level science courses offer immense amounts of opportunities for our students that better prepare them for their futures and for their future careers, while also their future in college, and helps better their education. I know personally I'm a senior. I'm graduating in 2 years. I'm not here today to speak for my own self-interest. I'm here because as a senior, I've benefited from the science programs at Effingham High School, but my fear is that the students who walk the halls next year won't get to have the same opportunities that I have. I'm not here in my own self-interest. I'm here to look out for the students who come after me, because I understand that there are long-term consequences for removing upper-level science courses, upper-level science teachers in our school district. So I please ask that the board carefully considers the effect and the consequences that will have on the opportunities for our students. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is there anyone else here to address the board?
My name is Taylor Sidwell. I'm a senior at Effingham High School, and I have been a part of many of the fine art programs that EHS has to offer, and today I'm here to talk to you about each of those programs' impact and the lasting impact that they've had on students. So the fine art curriculum at EHS gives students opportunity to learn about possible passions, careers, and interests that they could pursue in the future. And it gives these students a sense of belonging. Effingham is a town with many limited resources for students interested in the arts. Lessening these programs take even more away from those students who are already lacking those resources. Effingham High School strives on preparing students for a successful future. However, the future should not be limited to only certain careers that are more common than others. I understand that whenever we have these budget cuts, the first place that people go to is often to the fine arts, but many people forget how important they really are. So just in this past week, since all of the budget cuts have been getting talked about, I've heard many accounts from students who have been a part of the fine art programs that say that they wouldn't be here today without these programs.
And I've talked to many people who have been impacted by each program, and it's just like whether it be by showing them what they want to do with their lives, or by showing them that they aren't alone and welcoming them into a diverse and creative environment. Taking away positions from art programs could take away from activities and electives like art club or multimedia. And these programs have been known to give students a creative outlet during the school day, and many students come to school just for these programs. The fine arts these past 3 years have been thriving at EHS, and many of these programs have been a result of specific teachers and the amount of resources that we've been given. Removing any part of these programs at EHS does not just change next year's schedule, it changes what kind of opportunities our school offers for years to come. It'll change many students' outlooks on school and many students' motivation to come to school. Because if they don't have these programs where they can flourish, then they have no reason to be at school. That's what many students that I've talked to believe. And cutting just one teacher takes away part of the entire program that has been created. And I sincerely hope that you can just see how important fine arts programs at EHS are to the student body, and how the removal of a teacher or program can leave a lasting impact on all of our students. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else here to address the board? Okay. At this time, we will move along to the financial report, and I will turn that over to Mrs. Baker.
Looking at fund balance, we're showing an 8.14% increase over last year, with a net fund balance of $28,421,050.65. In the operating funds, we're showing a 4.47% increase over last year, with a net total of $23,854,271.54. Revenue we received in the operating funds: local revenue, $324,231. State, $610,216. Federal, $456,277. Those expenses over $5,000 are broke out separate in your packet. And the recommendation would be to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $2,109.59, and the payment of bills in the amount of $478,735.09.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Mrs. Baker? There being none, I would entertain a motion in a second to approve the financial report to reimburse the impressed account in the amount of $2,109.59, and the payment of bills in the amount of $478,735.09. Motion by Chad.
Second.
Second by Andrew. Roll call.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Inside the consent agenda, you'll find the minutes from the February 16th board meeting, February 16th closed session minutes, and the March 5th curriculum committee. You'll also find the cafeteria report, the student teacher report for next year. We have one student teacher in grade 2 at Southside. Your fundraiser list is attached. There are several fundraisers, one for the boys track that is selling raffle tickets from March 16th to April 24th. The EHS Teachers Club selling t-shirts and sweatshirts from March 17th to the 23rd. The EHS football cheer is having a whole hog raffle from March 17th to May 26th. The EJHS Student Council and Mustang Outreach selling fruit smiles and t-shirts from March 23rd to April 23rd. And then the EHS Varsity Cheer Squad is having a dress sale from August 7th through the 8th. Also, field trip list. We have the PHS Winter Guard is competing in a championship in Springfield, Missouri, March 27th and 28th. And the junior high fundraiser reward trip to Busch Stadium on April 15th. And then lastly, we have a disposal of equipment from the junior high. It looks like they're proposing to either sell, donate, or dispose of some auditorium seating that's going to be replaced. Does anyone have any questions about the consent agenda items? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda.
Motion.
Motion by Erica, second by Brandon, roll call. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jamie, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes.
Next on the agenda is the superintendent's report.
Okay, underneath the superintendent's report, the first item is the foundation report. The foundation met on March 9th at 5:30. I believe it was right here. Big ticket items that they basically covered, it appears, was to provide information that the scholarship application link is up on social media, which I'm sure most of our seniors have seen that. If you haven't, make sure you do. You see you're nodding your head, so you must have already. Also on here was that the scholarship reception, if you've never attended that, I highly recommend it. It's on April 30th at 5 o'clock at the EHS small gym. There's a lot of money awarded that night and a lot of great kids receiving that money that night. So make your way out to that if you could. That's probably about all I'm going to touch base on with that. Next is the enrollment. The enrollment right now, as of February 27th, 2026, is 2308, 2,308 students. This is 4 more students than the previous month, but it is 23 fewer students than the previous year at this time. Next is the FOIA information. We did have one FOIA in the course of the last month. It's simply dealing with, again, more of a vendor question about some of our contracts and things of that nature. So we will have respond to that accordingly, as we always do. Next is EHS semester exams, barring nothing as far as dismissing school. I think we dodged the bullet maybe today, even though it doesn't feel like it. Right now, semester exams are scheduled for tentatively for May 15th and Monday the 18th due to some snow days that we have had previously. Unit 40 staff end of the year dates to work. Staff will work a full day on Monday, May 18, 2026. Students will attend all day. Teachers Institute will be on Tuesday, May 19, 2026. And again, that is barring anything that would come up between now and then. Let's hope and pray that it does. Next is moving into next year, online registration information. Registration will be open on April 1st until May 1st this year. We're hoping to get everyone possible registered during that window. Aaron and Drew are sending out information through March to prepare, basically to prepare parents to get their students registered during that window. Now, the importance behind that is to the public, if you're talking to folks, is it helps us prepare for next year. Probably more than anything, which did not work out very well for us this year, was the transportation piece. But we are hoping and praying that we'll have that underway and under much better control by the time we would need to do that next year, for next school year. Parents will register for the upcoming school year through their Infinite Campus parent portals. Anyone who doesn't have access and needs a parent portal account set up can email registration@unit40.org for assistance. That's registration@unit40.org for assistance. Details can be found on our website or www.unit40.org. They need that repeated? I think we got it, right? The last item that I have underneath superintendent's report For the last several years, since 2021, we have offered a summer bridge program that was grant funded. When that grant ran out, we did continue it for one more year as we transitioned into, and we crossed over last summer with the 21st Century Grant that we have. So the summer bridge program will be going away, but the 21st Century Grant program will be up and running just like it was last summer. So that's just a notification about that. And that's it.
Thank you. Next on the agenda is new business. The first item in new business is the SEPCO Purchasing Cooperative approval. Do I just read this?
Yeah, you can just
Okay.
read that because that's really truly just an annual update.
Okay, we belong to SEPCO, which is a purchasing cooperative that handles food. The district participates in the cooperative where multiple districts join together to purchase food. The annual approval is needed to continue in the cooperative. Does anyone have any questions? Therefore, I would look for a motion and a second to approve Unit 40's participation in the SEPCO Food Co-op at a cost of $100.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Jill,
Yes?
Jane, yes, Chad,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Erica. Yes. Andrew.
Yes.
In your packet, you have the proposed calendar for next school year, the 26-27 school calendar. We are looking to approve that school calendar. Do you want to preface anything? with that?
Only thing I will say is that rumor on the street is that Election Day will be a day that we're required to take off, and it is not set up that way in this current calendar, so we will have to go back to the drawing board to most likely add that. From everything that I've been indicated from the state level, the legislators won't make that announcement or move until May. And I'm not waiting until May to try to get this out. I think it's better to get this out so people can get the bulk of what the calendar encompasses, and then we'll make some small adjustments as that would take place. But we're looking to start on August 10th. Very similar to what we've done in the past with staff, and then staff on August 11th, which is Tuesday, and students would come in on August 12th. And I know everybody and their brother keeps yelling, you get earlier and earlier and earlier every year. Here's the one thing that people need to think about. We go the same number of days every year, regardless of when we start and when we finish. Okay? We can either start later and finish later, or we can start earlier and finish earlier. At this point right now, under my leadership, I've always leaned more towards starting earlier and getting out, because when you hit May, I'm pretty sure everybody in this room's ready. I'm not even asking the kids. They'd rather go in August than May. So that's why it's devised the way it is.
Okay. And it also gets your semester exams, high schoolers, done before Christmas break instead of going away for Christmas break and coming back and taking exams later.
Try to make sure that happens every year.
Okay, does anybody have any questions about the calendar? Okay, there being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the 2026-27 school year calendar as presented.
Motion.
Motion by Erica,
Second.
second by Brandon, roll call.
Jane, yes, Chad,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Erica. Yes. Andrew.
Yes.
Jill.
Yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is the student discipline handbook changes for presentation and approval. I think Mr. Cullen and or just Mr.
It's just
Cullen.
good with me, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so we met as individual schools and as a district over the discipline code review and athletic code review. So we do have some recommendations for the board to change our handbooks for next year. So I'll just try to run through those as quick as possible. The first item that you have there is the AI policy that you've approved. So we will go ahead and put that in our handbook at the high school and the junior high level. The third page there, we do have some changes here at the high school. First one regarding EHS parking regulations. Those students that receive perfect attendance are able to have preferred parking. We just wanted to make sure that we designated clearly what perfect attendance means. That means absolutely no absences whatsoever throughout the whole year. So there was just some discrepancies about doctor's notes and things like that. So it's just perfect attendance. You're here every single day, every single hour. You get that preferred parking. Second one regarding transportation, really at the high school level, we're going to leave this up to our coaches on athletes coming home from games. So it's going to be coaches' discretion. So you can see that our coaches reserve the right to approve or deny requests for parents to sign out students after competitions. That's something that the athletic director and the coaches all wanted. Next, regarding athletics as well, is extracurricular academic eligibility. Currently, right now, it is 25 credit hours and 5 academic classes that you have to be passing to be eligible. We want to make that a little bit more stringent. So our recommendation is 30 credit hours and 6 academic classes that you have to be passing in order to be eligible. So what that means is if you have 7 hours in the day and you're failing one class, you are still academically eligible to participate and compete in extracurricular activities. But if you fail 2 classes, then you're not able to be eligible for those extracurricular activities. If you have a study hall, which means you only have 6 academic classes, you have to be passing every single one of them to be eligible. So that's our recommendation, again, just to make it a little bit more stringent and strict on the eligibility there. 2.1, next one is the harassment policy. So just by law, we're having to put in there regarding cyberbullying, bullying, things like that. Just the unauthorized digital replicas of students without their consent would also fall underneath the harassment bullying policy. And then final one for the high school, we're going to go ahead and include the Meta AI glasses in with our cell phones. So they're not to be in the classroom. They're not to be used during the classroom, but they can be used in between classes, before school, things like that. So we're just going to classify them in the same realm as cell phones, the AI glasses. So any questions at the high school level? Yeah.
Just one on the eligibility for extracurricular. Is that pretty standard in the conference, the 30 credit hours and the 6 academic?
Ours was very lenient because the minimum that you could have is what our policy is set forth by the IHSA. IHSA says you have to have 5. So we just went with the minimum. So again, we wanted to bump that up just a little bit. A lot of districts go, you don't pass anything, or excuse me, you have to pass everything to be eligible. So there's a lot of schools out there that basically said, yeah, you have to pass every single class to be eligible for those. So, any other questions? Okay, at the junior high level, they just had a couple changes here. One was they sort of forgot last year when you're talking about having to be present for the entire second half of the day to be eligible for an extracurricular for that night. If a student does go to a doctor's appointment the second half of the day, they just have to bring that doctor's note back to the office in order to practice and participate that night. So that's just sort of something they left off last year. There again is their AI policy, same as the high school. So we'll just put that in our handbooks. And then last one for the junior high, they just wanted to put a dress code update in here that basically says the only way you can wear a costume or anything related to a costume has to be specifically outlined by the school that, hey, this is a costume day. So if it's not a costume day or a dress up day or something like that, they're not really to wear costumes to school that day. Okay. Any questions on that? Okay, South Side, they just had a little bit of language they wanted to change. It just says in the student handbook, they just sort of left out the word miss under 10 minutes of Friday reward and miss 20 minutes, miss 30 minutes. So they just wanted to really add the word miss there in those 3 instances. ELC, the only thing they really had is they just wanted to add their behavior matrix into their handbook. And I think you should have a copy of that as well. It's just at the back there. So they just sort of, again, wanted to include that in their handbook there. And then at Central School, they just wanted to really make sure the students and parents are aware that there is to be no cell phones at all, no smartwatches, anything like that in their school. So all communication from the schools to be made via the school's phone system. So students, if they're going to call home or anything like that, it has to be through the office. There's not to be any use of cell phones. They just wanted, again, to make sure that they stress that. And then the final thing, again, for Central, they've had some issues this year with people like door dashing food and things like that to the school, or parents bringing food. They just want to make sure that they understand that delivery services are not allowed to deliver school lunches. So they wanted to make sure they put that in there. And that's pretty standard across the board. That's at the high school and junior high as well. So, any questions on any of those recommendations?
The AI smart glasses are allowed like between classes and after classes?
Correct. They're just not to be worn in the high school, in the classroom at all. The moment, there's like a cell phone. The moment they walk into the class, they're not to have them. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the 26-27 student handbook changes as presented by Mr. Fullen.
Motion.
Motion by Chad,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Chad,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Erica. Yes. Andrew,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes.
Next on the agenda is the IHSA membership renewal.
It's just an annual renewal, nothing really to update there, it's just something that needs to take place every year.
Okay. Annually, the district must renew its memberships in the IHSA groups. IHSA fees are waived, and attached in your packet are the renewal forms. I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the district's annual membership in IHSA for the 2026-27 school year.
Motion.
Motion by Erica,
Second.
second by Chad, roll call.
Brandon, Erica. Yes. Andrew,
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes. Chad.
Yes.
Next on the agenda is the student iPad and laptop manual for the 26-27 school year.
Really, the only change, real change here is the AI plan, which has already been board approved. This is a manual that I believe, and we got started for us as technology coordinator maybe 2 years ago. So maybe it's the third year, I'm just gonna ballpark. So obviously this is just an update to that.
Okay. The whole entire document's in board book. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, there being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the 2026-27 version of the student iPad and laptop manual.
Motion.
Motion by Erica,
I'll second it.
second by Jane, roll call.
Brandon,
Yes.
Erica. Yes. Andrew.
Yes.
Jill,
Yes.
Jane, yes. Chad.
Yes.
A few meetings back, we had the 10-year HLS school buildings report. It's at the time that we need to approve that report to not have to just go back and rehash anything. Does anyone have any questions about the HLS building report?
I wouldn't mind making a brief comment, if that's okay. Obviously, the facility, we've got continual facility upgrades needs, but by statute, we're required to have 10-year health, life safety done by an architect, pay them a lot of money, which we have already. This is basically seeking the board to approve what they have designed that they encourage us to do. And they have it set up in 3 methods. They have it set up in A, B, and C items. If you go through the document's probably 80 pages. Okay, to summarize it though, A items, which are something that is urgent, that they are encouraging us to do, is an estimated $130,000. Those urgent ones are basically something that would need to be done within 1 year's time. B items would be within 5 years' time. It's a much larger one. It's 3.8 million. There are some things in there that have been discussed over the last several years, such as parking lots and gym floors and some of those kinds of things. They may not get board approved to be completed, but they are very high ticket items. What happens if you don't complete them on this health, life, safety 10 years from now? I don't know. Unfortunately, for many of you, I won't be sitting here and it won't be my problem, but it will still be a district problem. Okay? So that is something to keep in mind, that this does state that there are things that need to be taken care of. There are high ticket items. This is 3.8 million. And then C items within 10 years, there's really nothing on there. So you're looking at about a $4 million potential expenditure dealing with meeting the standard in which the architects and CM have stated is necessary. And once this is submitted to the state, then the state would sign off on this. So all we're asking the board to do tonight, and all we asked you to do at the discussion before, was truly approve what they have put here, that we would begin the process, and then the choices on when and how much and some of that falls back on us as a district as we would move forward. It does not mean that you're obligated to $4 million expenditures. It does mean that you pretty much ought to do it if you want things up to standard. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying that. Does anyone have any questions? Okay. I then am looking for a motion and a second to approve the 10-year HLS report provided by BLDD Architects for Eastside ELC Central Junior High, or Central School EJHS and West Side School buildings. The high school building was not on the rotation this year.
Motion.
Motion by Andrew,
Second.
second by Chad. Roll call.
Erica?
Yes.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval to purchase auditorium seating. There's a memo in your packet. Does one of you want to?
You want to, I mean, really, there's not a whole lot to it other than, again, as stated earlier, that we do support fine arts at the highest level. And if you've been into our junior high auditorium, it probably needs some new seats, and they've run across a pretty good deal. And that's what they're asking for this to happen tonight. I don't think we're looking at district funds, or are we looking at
It's
maybe out of the junior high?
junior high budget and junior high fundraiser.
Okay.
So the seats are original to that addition, the new part of that building, so 1967.
How old are the seats that we've purchased?
They're within the last 5 years, so they're a lot newer.
And will we be able to install them, or will we need to pay to install?
Yeah, our maintenance will install
We do
them.
it ourselves.
Okay.
Save on labor.
Does it replace seat for seat?
Yes.
So it'll be the same
Brand new.
capacity?
Yes.
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 Okay, does anyone have any other questions?
You might read some of that.
I'm just gonna read the whole statement. We're
Yep.
seeking board approval to purchase auditorium seating from the Salem Community Theater and Cultural Center for $50 per seat. This purchase would include 300 auditorium seats for Effingham Junior High School. The $15,000 for the purchase will be split between the EJHS building budget and EJHS fundraising account. Does that clarify things more?
And I'll state too, fortunately, Donna Walls, I don't know if you want to add anything else. She's been heavily involved in this process. I believe maybe you found this deal for us. Been pecking at me to get it done for longer than she wants. And we're turning that corner, and if you'll approve this tonight.
It'll actually be a few more seats than we currently have. It'll go from 260 to 270, I believe.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Don.
Thank you.
And Charlie, I think you've worked quite a bit with Charlie Schwarman.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Okay, any other questions? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the purchase of EJHS auditorium seating at a total cost of $15,000.
Motion. Second.
Okay, who's that?
Motion by
Brandon,
Brandon.
second by Andrew, roll call.
Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica?
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of a memorandum of understanding with the ECTA regarding the EJHS team athletics proposal.
So Vince Rohr came to me several months ago and Charlie Schwarman with some concerns about what we're doing with the B team programs, and think that we can better utilize the resources that we have to help in some other ways. So what's being asked here tonight is to do away with B team sports at our junior high levels. And part of that is to be able to help focus on the A team and the second half of the A team. So if we have hypothetically 20 girls out for softball, those 20 girls will get a lot more emphasis out of the coaches than if that same coach, or they have to spend some other time outside of that practice. It just makes a lot of sense to be able to do what they're doing. I will say, in my time here, which is 4 years, I was a proponent of getting this started. So when they first came to me, I was not very interested in it going away. But after some of the rationale, and you can see it if you need some more information, but I do think it's something that would probably benefit the district in the long run. And we've met with the ECTA, our union, and they've obviously agreed to this too for you to approve tonight. And that will be effective for next year.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve the MOU with the ECTA to eliminate EJHSB team athletics until further notice.
Motion.
Motion by Chad,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Jill,
Yes?
Jane, yes, Chad,
Yes.
Brandon,
Yes.
Erica, yes, Andy.
Yes.
Okay, next item on the agenda is the discussion about core funding. There's no action at this meeting, but it's more or less a proposal.
Yeah, kind of like a little bit of a straw poll or where you're sitting as far as, I serve on the core board. We don't have a lot of students involved in core right now. And they are seeking ways to try to raise money, to try to get a director under contract. We have become the fiscal agent for that organization. I have stated to them that we are not interested, or you're not interested, along with me, in securing a director for that group until the funds would be in place in order to put in our accounts, because we're the fiscal agent now, before we would endorse someone being hired. I think it's a missing piece for the core academy. If you don't know much about the core academy and want to reach out, we can put you in touch with that. It started out as IRCA, been talked about for 12 to 14 years, I'm just going to guess. So this is a proposal that basically, in a nutshell, what they're trying to seek is they're trying to get some school commitment, to know what the school commitment is, that if we were to send kids to this organization, would we be willing to spend some money, district-funded money, in order for kids to go over there? At this point right now, we do not. But we also don't send a lot of kids over there. Some school districts such as Deidre do send a lot of kids over there because they don't have near the offerings that we already have at our high school. So we're not interested from our high school standpoint to send somebody to core if we've already got it offered on our property. But if we're not offering it on our property, it could be something potentially to look at moving forward. If we did that, they're wanting to know what the school's commitments are. So then once you have the school's commitment, then you could go forward with possibly talking to businesses to try to get them on board for a fundraising portion too. So at this point right now, the big thing that would be asking you is they're looking at the breakdowns of, if you have less than 150 students in your high school, you would pay $2,500. There are 7 schools in the cooperative or in this agreement right now that have signed on the intergovernmental agreement, which we're a part of. There are 7 schools that would fall into that category. There are 5 schools that would fall in the 151 to 300 category, which is $4,000 per year. And then there's the 301 to 499. There are 3 schools that fall into that are 5,500, and then lo and behold, over 500, it is us. And the sticker on ours would be $10,000, lump sum. The difficulty behind it right now is if we sent 3 kids there next year, then we're splitting $10,000. That's a pretty hefty price to pay. But they are very interested in input back on how to possibly go about. Maybe that's not something that's feasible for us. If we were sending 200 kids over there, that's probably something that we could swallow it a little bit different about. So I'll leave it there and tell me your thoughts.
Well, since we have a nice sample of students here, and we're talking about strong votes, of all you students, and please don't be shy, have all of you, who has heard of the core program, which is basically the trades classes that they offer at the new Lakeland building out by the interstate? How many of you are aware of that program? Just curious if you even know it exists. 1, 2, 3, just 3. Oh, okay. 4, 5.
I think it's 5.
How many of you are here?
How many of you have never even heard of Core Academy? That's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem.
So
Parents, are parents in the room? Parents, have you heard of Core Academy? That is a problem. Okay. So we need to make sure that core gets, we need a director.
It's great.
Well, that's the problem,
I mean, that's
is
the problem. I
really,
mean,
there's a board, and they've been working for 12 years. I serve on it. I mean, it's frustrating, because again, without money, you can't go get people, you can't get boots on the ground. But if it's gonna go, it needs somebody to drive it and get in and talk to our counselors in the high schools and really promote this thing at a higher level. Again, I'm gonna reemphasize, we offer our kids an awful lot already in our school district, and we should be proud of that we really don't need them to leave for another program if we're already doing it. Diedrich, people look at these smaller schools, they just don't have the staff that we have to be able to do some of that.
That's a good question. Part of some of the talkings about that, what are the courses that they offer that we don't? Check.
That's a great question, Mark.
Automotive body work.
Yeah, they ventured into the automotive field. One of the biggest things that they've really leaned on. Yep, go ahead, Kurt.
I just say that things are a little more complex than we can put in the room right now, okay? But right now, I think possibly they're gonna offer a criminology class in the fall, maybe. There is an automotive class. There is a EV class, which is kind of electric and motors and cars and those types of things. I'm doing this from memory. There is an allied health class, which is kind of very similar to health op. Seems like there's one more that I'm forgetting about that, but that's the best I can do from memory.
Was the HVAC?
No.
Was the HVAC?
No.
Not at this point anyway.
If there is a career explorations class.
Yeah, there is a career exploration class, which is just kind of a general, they tour a lot of businesses. That's mostly what they do.
The concept, honestly, is very good. It's getting it to bridge to a school the size of us. A lot of your smaller schools really, really need that because they don't have the staff that we have. Okay, again, we're very blessed here. To get us as a big player in this is very hard. And it has been hard for 12 to 14 years. Because again, when you talk about the Explore class, in all honesty, we do that with our kids. I mean, a lot of those things, and I'm not knocking it because it's good for them. We start 5th and 6th grade with some testing, and 7th and 8th grade with some things, and there's been build up from there. But I would like to see us find a way to embrace a partnership with them, that if our kids need that of whatever they offer that we don't, we'd be in a position to consider something like that. What that is right now, I don't know. And we've got to have, as you stated, we've got to have somebody from them getting in with our high school and helping them better understand what that is. But this is asking you about the financial piece. I'm basically guessing what I got the gut is we're not interested in paying $10,000 if we don't have kids there yet.
Well, it's more than double.
It is, but the whole
For
idea is
enrollment. That doesn't.
their goal would be to get to about probably 250, I think. And if we had 100 to 125 of our kids, they're probably there. But again, we can justify it. So that's where the conversations have come from and where they go. I will pass back that at this point right now, we are not interested in $10,000. Maybe they could come back with another idea to approach you about potentially helping out financially. Sound good? That straw poll. Think I got it. Check it. Thank you. And again, I don't want that to be something negative about CORE, because the idea behind this is incredible.
The concept is great.
Yep.
Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of course adoption for 26-27 school year. It's a full year agribusiness course. Do you just want me to read
just read
this?
that.
Okay. The prerequisite for this course is 1 credit hour for junior and senior standing. The agribusiness field encompasses activities that contribute to successful agricultural production, which can include crop production, farm equipment, seed supply, marketing, natural resources, and animal services. This course covers the business side of agriculture, focusing on management, marketing, finance, and the economics within the food and fiber industry. Students will be exposed to developing business plans, exploring agricultural careers, and engaging in FFA leadership activities. Participation in FFA student organization activities and supervised agricultural experience, or SAE, projects is integral in the course. A component for leadership development, career exploration, and reinforcement of academic concepts. Does anyone have any questions?
Is there anything else, Kurt?
Presented at the curriculum meeting. If there's no other questions, I'm looking for a motion and a second to approve agribusiness to begin in the 26-27 school year at BHS.
Motion.
Motion by Andrea,
Second.
second by Chad, roll call.
Jane, yes. Chad?
Yes.
Jessica? Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
I think it wouldn't hurt to say before we go to close too, please understand Desha was on course to be here, but she got called to, what she does. She got called to emergency surgery. I think that's more important than this. Not that this isn't important. She's hopefully, probably, in part of saving somebody's life now. I don't know. We appreciate that out of our board members.
Okay. Any other business before we go to closed session? I'm looking for a motion and a second to enter into closed session. Bear with me, I have to say why we're going into closed session. The first item is the employment compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district. The second item is student disciplinary cases. The third item is possible litigation or when action against or affecting on behalf of a particular public body has been filed or pending before court. And the last item is security procedures, school building safety, and security and the use of personnel and equipment to respond to an actual threat or potential danger. I would need a motion and a second to enter into closed session.
Motion.
Motion by Brandon,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Chad?
Yes.
Brandon?
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Jill?
Yes.
Jane, yes.
Okay, at this time,